Awesome. Okay. Welcome everybody who's joining, who's filing in to the session tonight. Thank you for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to come spend an evening with me. For those of you that don't know me, I'll do a quick introduction of myself. I'll go over some logistics and then I'll introduce our guest speaker. Okay, so my name is Renee Roberts. I am a registered functional nutrition and vitality coach and founder of Nourish to Live RX. I am also a registered hypnotherapist, and I help women over 40 sleep better, have more energy through the day, and just feel amazing. And I do that through one-on-one and group coaching and workshop sessions like this one. And it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy meeting you guys, and thank you for joining. Before I introduce Dilyana, I am going to just say a few things. If you want to ask questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat or the Q&A box. If you would like to ask a question live, feel free to raise your hand and I'll bring you on audio, and then you can ask your question live if you'd like as well. We're pretty open here. You can do whatever feels comfortable for you. And with that, I will introduce Dilyana. So Dilyana is going to talk to us tonight about how to sleep restfully during perimenopause, right? Yes. Okay, so Dilyana is a yoga teacher and holistic menopause coach. She is the founder and CEO of Dilyana Holistic Healing Academy and the Restful Sleep Mastery online program. That's the new name, right?
Sure. Yes.
She's developed her approach to menopause through research and her yoga practice and meditation, which has helped her stay grounded and focused on harmony with all. Her mission is for women to feel safe, to fully express themselves and take care of themselves so they can live a life from their power, their passion, and their purpose. Her process works with your mind, your body, and spirit to facilitate your beautiful being to bring itself in alignment with your highest intention of thriving more. Thank you so much, Dilyana, for joining us tonight. I'm so excited to have you here and talk about sleep. As you know, I love talking about sleep. I do my own workshops as well, and I just find it fascinating, and it's so important for everything in our bodies and if you're not sleeping well, you're not healing well. That's what I say. So why don't I hand it over to you to say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us what you want to talk about.
Hello, everyone. Thank you to having me, Renee. And thank you, everyone, to join tonight and take a time for this conversation, this presentation. Actually, everybody knows how important is sleep and for our overall well-being, our health, our emotional, mental, and physical state. So who here want to know how to fall asleep fast and easy, and to stay asleep and to have deep restful sleep? Who want to know how to engage in relaxation activity to help this restful sleep? Because I entered in my 40s, early 40s, already exhausted and tired. And with all my knowledge in wellness and health as a yoga teacher and breathwork facilitator, I didn't understood why I'm so tired all the time until I really come to the point to crashing fatigue and burnout, which is happened very recently last year. And I just one day stay in the bed. It was so exhausted. Even after, let's say, normal sleep 7 hours, because I wake up too many times during the night, and actually sometimes too early, I feel that I don't have this restful sleep, and I feel still tired and exhausted. There's somebody of you have the similar experience. You can type in the chat yes or why if you have some similar experience. If you have difficulty to sleep, fall asleep fast, it takes you 2-3 hours sometimes, wake up many times during the night, or maybe wake up too early and cannot sleep and have this restful sleep. Because if you feel tired and exhausted in the next day, for sure you don't have this restful sleep. So I would like to know if somebody here has similar experience like me, and if they feel that this tiredness is kind of interrupt their performance, their focus, their relationship even, and their even finance that affect with this poor sleep. Because for me, it was really kind of demotivating, and I even get to depression because I wasn't in my force. I know what I'm possible to achieve. I didn't have this space to keep working on what I love to do because I just didn't have force. I just rely on endless cup of caffeine, and sometimes even that doesn't help. And I wake up tired and afternoon wanted to go to bed again. And evening I was tired and wired and cannot go to sleep fast, even I'm tired. So it was a vicious circle, and it's take a while and you figure it out. Actually doing this research, I find out that actually, if you adjust slightly your lifestyle, you can easily achieve this restful sleep. And I just focus on my breathing and my deep breathing techniques that can really help you with many other symptoms if you're going through perimenopause and menopause, and help you with also with hot flashes, with night sweats, which can be actually some of the reason that you cannot sleep well. The other reason it's probably that your cortisol is too high in the evening, too low in the morning, which need to be opposite. And actually, in order to manage the stress, you need to learn how to manage the cortisol. So balance the cortisol, balance the hormone, that's for sure increase your quality of sleep. Of course, with life changes, as you know, Renee, the diet is very, very important. What you eat, how you exercise. Do you actually it's involved in more parasympathetic activities, not so much in active cardio activities, because for the hormone balance, you need more to relax, to reset, just more involve more in yoga, breathing, meditation, walking, Tai Chi, even if you like, but not so much in a workout. Or if you do workout, you can reduce that in 2 times per week in a shorter time of 30 minutes, because that's also affect your cortisol and your hormone. So depending on your age, you have to see how much you need to work out also.
Can I ask a question? So I'm curious about that. Is it workout mean cardio or strength training?
Strength is important. It's important to combine with stretch and strength, but again, the strength need to be minimized, not hours in the gym,
Okay.
and just minimize and be 2-3 times per week, not every day. Okay. And definitely not evening and not late in the evening for sure.
Interesting. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what it's inspired me to create the Restful Sleep program to help women with to balance wellness, to balance their life and energy, to learn how actually to switch with active energy to passive energy, and how to transition between, and actually if they lack this passive energy, to relax the brain, which is very important for sleep, and to relax the body before they're going to sleep. They're gonna have challenges to fall asleep easily.
Okay. Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, because the reason why I focus on sleep as well is because I've had my issues and I never had problems falling asleep. It was more staying asleep. And I think it was that active brain. As soon as I woke up, I started thinking of things, and I've always had that, okay, why can't I turn my brain off? And, I figured out some things that work for me, but it is frustrating when you wake up, especially if it's multiple times through the night, and you can't turn your brain off, and you can't fall back asleep. And it's like, oh, you lay there. And yeah, so I totally get it.
Yeah,
So
that's
how do
true.
how do you work with your, so tell us some more about like your program. So how do you work with clients? Do you incorporate the yoga and everything with them, or is it the deep breathing in the yoga, or does it depend on the client?
It's most my relaxation activity. Even if you mention yoga, it's kind of yoga for sleep. Yoga for it's which is passive, more relaxing. It's maximum few stretches that I can suggest for this kind of type of restorative yoga. It's not really so, but most of the relaxation technique is around meditation, breathing, mindfulness. Breathing, scanning meditation, yoga nidra, which is known as yoga for sleep, which is scanning body and guided meditation through imagery, visualization, positive affirmation, and so on. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So how does it actually, how does it work? So how does the breathing work actually help with some of the symptoms that people may experience?
Yeah.
And how does it help with actually getting somebody to sleep at night?
Deep breathing is directly related to parasympathetic system in our body, in our brain. So just focusing on the breath and how you breathe, it switched your attention of your thinking mind, which is not stop, it is overthinking. And focusing just with the quality of the breath, how you breathe, and if you do the space breathing or some kind of control breathing, it switch your attention and help you with the state of preparation the brain of the to come to these alpha waves and theta and delta, because actually the beta waves is that prevent to sleep the brain. It is more related to this fly and flight activity and this overthinking. It is stressful anxiety thoughts, which we need to be more in actually other waves, alpha, theta, delta, that help you to come really. Sometimes the experienced meditator doesn't know they sleep or they meditate because they're in a deep state of the border is really very, very teeny because it's without knowing you can fall asleep after a while doing these techniques. It's a matter of practice, of course, people to get used to create this routine. So I'm teaching in my program how to create evening routine, how to create environment that can help them to have this quiet time, to have this settle down the mind and the body, to help them with the sleep process. Also, I help them to create this sanctuary and this environment that I suggest them other tips what to do with their bedroom to help them to sleep. And so they have a morning routine also to really get in a good habit to not really wake up and rush and be in this running state right away, just to prepare to go to the activity during the day, and also how to pause in between. So the pause is very important when whatever you do, we are all busy, but how to implement in other activity these techniques. Let's say when you're waiting in to pay in the store for the what you buy for the cashier, when you're waiting for the gas station, when you wait for something, what you can do for a few minutes, how you can do this lunch break, how you can use the lunch break to relax also, and also how to really, when you don't have time, what to do. Yeah.
Okay. So how does this work specifically for women that are in perimenopause versus somebody that's not? Like, what is the difference? Is it because you're trying to balance some hormones more, or what?
In perimenopause, it can be start really early. You can have early menopause also due to some operation or some other cause. So in usually because before the menopause, which is 12 consecutive months without period, you have few years, sometimes between 3 to 10 years in perimenopause. And many women think that perimenopause is just mainly related to hot flashes, which is not actually sleep problems. It's underestimated and undervalued. And actually it's related to other symptoms very much as anxiety and depression. So if you're already in anxiety, depression, you cannot sleep. That can create irritability, mood swings, and also hot flashes is directly related with the sleep. And more often it's before the period stop, but very often during the menopause and even after menopause, that's problem continue, like hot flashes, not in such intensity probably, but sleep problem can continue because when you age, you change the sleep pattern for sure.
Okay, awesome. So what other kind of tools do you suggest for those of us that do have trouble sleeping? And, you know, either whatever the consequence or the cause of the sleeping. So you mentioned the deep breathing, the pausing in between, you know, I guess events throughout the day. What else do you suggest?
Yeah, exercise, the movement, it's important, but as I mentioned already, it's important how much, when, what exactly to do as an exercise. So diet, as you know, is very important, what you eat, how you eat, what you eat in the evening. So I always suggest to eat early evening, not very late. And then actually you need to sometimes to prepare to go to bed. So this time need to be, for many people is different, but just you need to switch blue screen and watch the television and computer and the telephone at least 2 hours before you go to sleep. Before this is also affect our brain, and many people think that watching television or playing the game that can relax from the day and help them with sleep, which actually in the long term it's opposite, and it's also affect the quality of your sleep.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So we talked diet, we talked exercise, breathing, yoga, meditation. Are there certain types of, like, I know of a few different types of breathing, like the box breathing or this 4-7-8 breath. For some reason, I have a block against that one. Is there certain specific breathing techniques, or does any breathing technique work? Or is one better over the other?
Most of them, they work. There's also others. There's many others variation. It depends of the person prefer what they prefer. They prefer guided meditation with the scanning body and pay attention of how you breathe. This space breathing, which is eco breathing, eco inhale, eco exhale, and also there is alternate nostril breathing that's help to balance the left brain and right brain. Or just breathe from the left nostril and close the right nostril. It's helping because left is correspond to the sleep and to relax more with the relaxation. So there's different type that they can learn and start to implement. I suggest them, I teach them also, but I teach also many other holistic approach and tools that they can use for relaxation. Movement, I suggest very little movement, but in general, how they think, how they approach this, what's happened to them, and how to overcome the anxiety, because so many people start to think, okay, I'm not going to sleep this night again like last night, and start this anxiety, this negative talking. How to switch with this to positive, actually with positive affirmation that they can kind of hypnotherapy that they can use for themselves. Also, there's so many other relaxation activity like a self-massage. I teach self-massage, how they can do that. It's just a part of all this that I teach.
Okay, interesting. All right, awesome. Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to pop in if you have any questions for Dilyana. That would be great. So let's see, what else? So some of the learning or the online program that you do, is it strictly online, or have you always been online, or did you used to be, do you have like a studio that you
I used to be in the holistic center before pandemic, but as you know, all their course, and then now I switching to mostly online. In person, it's now, it's difficult. So mostly it's online program. It can be one-on-one, but in group, if somebody want really a personal approach, a really personal for their need, I can do that also.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell us about, like what they can take away? Any tips or tricks that you can help us with if people online right now are actually having trouble sleeping?
Yeah, knowing what caused them to not sleep is important, and how that just don't underestimate to become a chronic, and to become the fatigue also to become chronic, and because it's very related with adrenal exhaustion. If you don't pay attention, it can become this crashing fatigue, and which it can be the end. It's burnout, but why are you going there? If you can have this natural tools that you can use, prevention and information. So I synthesize all that I say in a system, in a step, very easy step to implement. I save actually a lot of research time that I personally did and experienced through myself.
Okay. It's funny. You mentioned hot flashes. I have not yet experienced really hot flashes yet. But I also see a hormone doctor and make sure I'm on hormones, bioidentical hormones to help. That was part of my sleep problem as well. But lately I've been actually cold at night, like literally, and that's just not weird. That's just not me either. Normally I'm comfortable at night, but like, aren't I supposed to be having hot flashes at this point? But I would wake up. I literally went to bed the other night with long sleeve PJs and a sweater under covers. I was still cold. I don't know what that is. Maybe it has something to
That
do
can be
with
another effect probably with some of the changes, but yeah, more rare, but can be. So adjusting the temperature is always solution, but for hot flashes, it's important to sleep in natural cotton, or there's a bamboo. I think there's so many mattress specifically that facilitate the sleep also, and there's electronic tools nowadays that you can use also to track your sleep pattern and to improve your sleep. So sometimes you really need to understand what is the cause, because sometimes can be medication, can be other medical condition, can be also other issue like thyroid, diabetes, or some chronic pain, some joint pain. If you have chronic pain, you can wake up and cannot sleep. So really depend what is the cause. It's good beginning just to test your hormone to see how you can, where are you in this journey to know what exactly to address.
Oh yeah. For me, I know exactly. I can actually say if I know going to bed whether or not I'm gonna have a good night's sleep or not, depending on my activities for the day. I've gotten to that point because that's what I do, right? Like that's how I coach people. But it is very interesting, and that's what you'd want to get people to, right? Is that they can, because I always say sleep is a symptom of an underlying cause, whether it's hormone related, or if it's nutrition related, or if it's your sleep hygiene, your daily habits and stuff like that. Stress is such a huge thing, huge problem. So I like what you said about the cortisol, because cortisol, melatonin, they're in an inverse relationship. So cortisol is high or melatonin is going to be low. So what are your thoughts on, I have my own opinions, but I'm curious about what you think about the taking of melatonin and supplements like that to help sleep. I'm curious how, you know.
Yeah, it's again
you-
medication, and I usually my talk is how to sleep better without medication. So
Yeah.
for me, the natural herbs and adaptogen is better variation than the supplements, because supplements can create dependency in a long term. And I'm a huge believer that natural herbs and adaptogen can help much more than like black horse help a lot for hot flashes, for sleep, and ashwagandha if you have really stress and you are stressed with you know, Ayurveda is also very huge method to use in your healthy lifestyle to adjust your eating depending of your constitution. So that is other way to treat the symptoms. But yeah, that's definitely not. I'm not a fan of so much on medication.
Yeah, I agree. I do have supplements that I take. But for sleeping, I don't like to take them all the time. I do them if I have to. Like, I think melatonin is good for if you have jet lag, or if you're trying to get your circadian rhythm back in check. That's when taking stuff like that is good. But yeah, you know, I've heard that a lot of people do take it every night, you know, either the spray or whatever. And I do believe too that it could become a dependency, or you get used to it. Your body gets used to it, and then it doesn't work as well.
Yeah,
So,
this is one of the myths. There's a few myths around sleep and symptoms. One of these is that melatonin, it's kind of it. Also, hormone replacement for some people in extreme cases that can work, but I really don't recommend if you can have a natural way to treat the symptoms.
yeah, I do not hormones on bioidentical because that was one of the things. But I found that, you know, when it's always good, I think, to get tested. Number
Yes,
one is get
yes.
tested to see, because if your hormones are out of whack, then I found that I was extremely estrogen dominant, always have been my whole life, even through perimenopause. I've had a hysterectomy now. So, but still, my estrogen's still high. So I have to take progesterone to manage. And progesterone is like if you have a good amount of progesterone, that's like an anti-anxiety pill. Like it actually helps you calm down, sleep better.
Yeah.
So if you're low on progesterone, you get all,
Yeah.
you know, so it's quite interesting as well. It's fascinating. There's so many things that people can do to try to sleep better. That's why I love doing this, because you can help people. And it's like, well, what's your problem? Are you stressed? Is it what you're eating? It's fun. It's exciting to try to dig in and figure out, you know, why somebody can't sleep. And then when you can get them to sleep, that's awesome.
Yeah, and don't give too much power on the symptoms. Again, I don't think that it's something that you can have to live with, unavoidable.
Exactly.
It can be managed. It can be managed. Stress management techniques, it's very helpful.
Yeah. And I think there are people out there that think that this is just how they are. And I think, you know, and I don't know how people can live without having a good night's sleep. I'm cranky when I don't sleep well. So
No, that then you know the concentration get low, the memory can suffer, you are more prone to have injury, even a risk of injury, and you know performance at all can be really not so high. So
yeah, and you can catch viruses and colds easier because your immune system is affected. So yeah, it's really good to get up there and get a good quality sleep. I'm a technology person background. I was in technology for over 25 years before I became a nutrition coach. But so I'm all into the gadgets. So I wear my watch, I have apps, and I love looking at my stats every morning. It's the first thing I do. Now you have to take it with a grain of salt because, you know, they can only track so much, right? Unless you go and get a sleep study done. with all the
Yeah.
little things everywhere. Just getting your heart rate from your, wristwatches or ring is not going to be as effective, but I like because it sets like a standard for you, right? Like
Yes.
if you have the same patterns every night, that's probably your sleep patterns. But if you have an odd pattern one night, like you don't get any REM sleep, okay, well, let me figure out what did I do wrong, or why am I not getting REM? So it's interesting.
Yeah, so you need to understand the trigger, what habits bring you to this poor sleep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to observe. You have to be become like observer your daily habits, because I believe that what you do during the day that affect your night also.
Mm-hmm. And you have to start, like you said, you start first thing in the morning. And that's when what you do first thing when you wake up will affect how you sleep the night before.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
It's not just what you do before bed. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's from the morning all day and then the evening also.
So how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more?
They can access through my website, DilyanaMileva.com. They can join my group in Facebook, also Woman Health After 40 community. And they can also, from my website, I have my telephone, my email, all contact information. Okay. So they can get from there, or Facebook. I'm also in LinkedIn, whatever. If I think some of the people wanted to join from LinkedIn. So it's just Dilyana Mileva, it's my profile. You can message me there also. So yeah.
Awesome. Good. Well, does anybody have any questions? I think I've talked enough and asked enough questions of you. So I want to open it up. If anybody has any questions, you are more than welcome to ask. Otherwise, we can start to wrap things up unless you have more. Is there anything else you would like to say, Dilyana?
If now I say about my contact, if they stay in, they can reach out to me to ask questions. Also, if after that some questions come, they can prefer whatever they prefer, an email, with telephone, my website, Facebook group, or through you, they can ask you for if they wasn't able to.
Yep, and I will send some of the some people that come to my sessions all the time. They know the drill. I send out a replay anyway after, usually the next day, so I can put some information down in that email as well, along with the link to the replay as well. So for those that weren't able to make it tonight,
I have a gift if they want to. I have a 10 steps how to sleep better. Okay. If they want to have it, I have a link. I can let me see.
Why don't you put it
in the chat?
Why don't you put it in the chat, and that way they can grab it, and then I will also grab it and I can put it in the thank you email tomorrow as well. And while you do that, I also I like to post some information in the chat at the end.
Oops.
Oh, that's just to send it to everyone. That's just you're just sending that to me.
Okay.
I can probably, let me see, I can copy paste it. Here we go. Okay. And then I will put my information in the chat for those of you that that want information on me. A lot of you know me already. I do want to say that I've been doing a workshop for the last couple months now. I've been doing it quite often live. My sleep workshop, The Science of Sleep. I get a little techie and geeky in it, but I just have a webinar on demand now. So in case you can't see the live, I put the link there if you'd like to see it. And then you can also register for live sessions. I do like doing them every so often. I have fun doing them and I love talking about it. So I put that in there as well. Dilyana's got her link. So we are good to go. I don't see any questions coming through. I don't see any on Facebook. So I think we're good to go. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining. Thank you guys for taking time out of your night to attend this session. Thank you, Dilyana, for providing the information and coming on with me. It was nice to see you again. And I want to wish everybody a good evening and a great rest of your week, and stay safe, and hope to see you next time in 2 weeks for my next session. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.